Hello and welcome to another Law Yap Reacts. We're back with episode 3 of Skeleton Crew. Brooke, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm really excited for this episode.
Yep, I know you're excited because we're getting into the thick of it now, you know? The Skeleton Crew has been formed. Bring back my boy Smee. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, we gotta fix him. Hopefully they do.
Yeah, and then you presented me with a theory
I
that has
did.
been scratching my brain since you told me. So why don't you share this with the people?
Yes, I can't remember if I actually said this on YapSesh. We do re-yaps or recaps over on YapSeshPod. And I was like, I want to see Hondo. And I was like, what other and I was thinking about, as I was making the outline for the recap, I was looking at like John Watts and David Lowery and whoever else directed the first episode or whoever else wrote. Christopher Ford, I think, wrote it with John Watts. And I was on their Wikipedias and I was like, duh, John Watts did all the Spider-Man movies. And I was like, you know who was in the first Spider-Man Homecoming? None other than Donald Glover. So him and John Watts have worked together before. And that's another character that didn't get to see its like full fruition because he was supposed to be set up to be the Prowler, and that didn't happen. So we could get Lando.
Yeah, and here's the thing: we don't know what he's doing in 9ABY because the last thing we see from him post Return of the Jedi is in Last Shot by Daniel Jose Older. You should definitely read it. Where that takes place in 7ABY because Little Ben Solo is 2. So
yeah, well, we see him in the other book. The newer one.
Shadow of the Sith.
Yeah, but that's later. Like way later.
Years later.
Yeah.
Or 16 years later. So I'm just saying, like in the Mando time, you know, of the New Republic era, we don't know what he's doing. He's the head of Calrissian Enterprises. This is all we know. So you know,
I think it's possible.
Yeah. So
not to get your hopes up or anything, but I was very excited that I thought of that.
My hopes are up now.
So I'm sorry.
If they're dashed,
we know who to blame.
Yeah. But without further ado, let's get into this episode. We are on official Lando Hondo site watch. Lando Hondo watch has begun, and of course the sim counter is up. There. I'll get you. Yeah, that way up there.
All right, let's do it. This episode title, very interesting as an astrogation problem.
So star navigation? No. Gration. Integration? I don't
know.
Immediate audience with the supervisor.
Everybody, please remain calm.
Who is the supervisor?
Right. This is all sketchy.
Yeah.
Makes me think the supervisor is some kind of intelligence.
I was gonna say, it's kind of my inkling.
How'd you do that? Wait here.
Yeah, I know much of the Force. I've seen Star Wars.
Me too. Crazy.
This guy was in jail. So were we.
So, does Atten know about the Empire and the fall of the Grand Republic?
I don't know.
That way's empty.
Great, let's go the empty way.
Easy to hide in the crowd.
It makes me think they don't.
Corridor, if almost.
Wait.
Getting high on some spice. Welcome back, Scanlan Shortholt.
Do you spice?
Oh, also, I don't know if you saw the trivia, but she wears her jacket inside out.
I did see that.
Yeah, she's in her Fresh Prince era.
I love that.
Kneel, no, kneel, kneel, kneel.
It's like hurting cats.
as this rock could buy.
Sam Witwer didn't get a line.
I have an old friend in mind.
Maybe somewhere else.
She's
Yeah,
got
no, he was the
stars,
little
stars,
cheek
lost
thing.
planets,
Oh, was he?
ancient
Mhm.
John.
What about SM-33?
What about what?
You're a Jedi, right?
I love that she sees right through him.
Mm-hmm. Game recognizes game.
You stay here.
I'm like pleasantly surprised though, because I feel like the show advertising made it seem like, oh, he's gonna be a Jedi, that, and like there's all these mysteries that will be unraveled, but it's kind of like,
Right before we were captured.
nah, here's the deal.
Wait, don't touch anything.
You don't want to blast off.
Did we win?
That was so good.
Let's go! Hit the throttle!
He's really giving Jack Sparrow energy.
Mhm.
Like, you're the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
You have heard. Ooh, yeah, that's Pat back.
Oh,
Yep.
Droid, clean this up.
He's like, who you think you're talking to?
do I look like?
A service droid to you?
Come on, Craig, there's enough room for us to start.
Well, I feel like the ship can't be that old if it has a hyperdrive on it.
Well,
I'm trying to remember.
because it's bigger than a individual,
Well,
than a fighter.
did they have them in the Old Republic? I can't remember playing KOTOR.
I mean, we don't
They
have much.
hyperspace.
Yeah, I think you did, because there were different planets you could go to. We just don't really know in canon.
Looking for something?
It's like, that's a rather hard poke. Did it bruise?
Cheers, little guy.
Aw.
Time to get some sleep.
But I'm not even tired.
See, listen, all you gotta do is give a man some high-waisted pants and a flowy shirt. You can tick that off on the tally.
You do sleep, don't you?
His friend's moon. Who's a friend that has a moon? Probably a new character, but
Well, we don't know what Hondo past several
true.
couple decades. Well, no, maybe about a decade since Rebels.
Yeah.
It's a cargo.
We're playing.
This moon is called Alice?
Not literally. Does that make sense?
Neil. No.
Never mind. You'll understand when you're old. Come on.
Does he not know the word betray?
Some worlds?
There's more than that.
Oh,
Oh.
it's an owl.
Get down to business.
Quiet, Jack. Children, what in the depths are you doing with him? Oh, this will never.
It's so
He
cute.
rescued us. He said you could show us the way home.
I got maps of every star in the galaxy.
Nothing. It's totally boring.
Any nearby planets?
In school we learned about Coruscant and Alderaan.
Alderaan. It's the war, did you?
Oh.
Yep, called it.
Oh.
Part of the great work is that we're supposed to stay inside.
Mhm. Very Luke Skywalker coded.
Uh-huh. I bet they're having so much fun
Mm-hmm.
just doing that on set.
Yep. I would be. Hell, I'd be doing it now.
Yeah, honestly.
I got him. That's my shot.
I love how that thing's just kicking it off dust.
Mm-hmm. Who's in the ship? Who's in the ship?
Is that Teva?
What are you doing? You let them get away.
Too risky with the kids inside. Any idea where they're headed?
If I told you, you
I can't tell.
believe me.
No, that's not Teva. Missing the goatee.
No, it's not. I just couldn't tell who it was.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, that was fun.
Crimson Jet. Wait, why does that name sound familiar?
Sounds like an actual pirate name.
Yeah, it's a Legends.
Mm.
It was a Legends thing, but it was also no, he was also in canon during the war. So this has got to be someone that was like passed down because it's from Halcyon Legacy.
Yeah.
Because he'd be too old for that. Yeah.
It's got to be some sort of title. Maybe that gets passed down.
Yeah, or he just, heard the name and just took it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So Lando and Hondo Watch is a failure for this episode. Simp counter went out to 3 because flowy shirts and high waisted pants are
And a flowy jacket and a long jacket.
whatever Brooke said. But so they've been shielded from pretty much who knows when the Old Republic really was for them, because the High Republic goes back at least 500 years prior to this, I believe, or maybe like 350, 400.
Mm-hmm.
So is the Old Republic 500? There might be a calendar or a timeline. Let me check.
Yeah, I don't know what they said is in canon timeline.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, the Galactic Republic, also known as the Grand Republic or simply as a republic, was a democratic blah, blah, blah. Old Republic and First Galactic Republic were terms affixed to the pre-modern republic that existed until 1032 BBY.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been missing for over 1,000 years.
Okay, I knew I recognized that voice, but I couldn't place it. The old guy that was gonna like rat him out, but was like also a pirate with the little, I don't remember what species he is. Alfred Molina.
Oh,
I'm watching the credits. Yeah.
Nice. So if they were in the Old Republic, that means they've missed everything since the fall of the Sith, which is why he has. I mean, people all knew the Sith existed, but why they have stories like that. So how old is that ship and when did it crash? Because it's definitely got to be during the Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So they didn't know about the CIS crisis. They didn't know about the invasion of Naboo. They didn't know about the Empire. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of a whiplash to be like, what war?
Yeah, not only what war, like what wars, because they
What
missed a
wars?
whole bunch of things.
A whole planet is gone.
Crises, the Nile, the Nameless, the Acolyte.
So many things.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder that's going to be a culture shock. And then the supervisor, like, that's definitely got to be some kind of intelligence.
That was my first thought.
Yeah, because there's no way that I feel like just given the human inclination to explore that they would want to leave there. And maybe the treasure of and I mean, they have old Republic dataries, but maybe it's also like a weapon.
Maybe.
Like it's a planetary weapon, since that seems to be all the rage in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I mean, if the whole planet is kind of being policed and controlled by droids, I would imagine that it's some sort of artificial intelligence thing.
Yeah. And that's also kind of very 80s villain, too. Yeah. I just, I'm excited to see where we go. You know, we'll be halfway through the series next week. So I'm curious as to see what they choose to leap forward. Because presumably, since Jod or Crimson Jack knows how to use the Force, you know, he's had to have some training, which, you know, he could have very well been a youngling that, you know, escaped the temple, or a knight that escaped Order 66. So, like, you're hearing all these stories about how great Jedi were and how there are Jedi all over the galaxy. And then Jod's like, yeah, they wiped us all out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, I believe that he can actually use the Force. I don't feel like he's doing what who was it, Kumail's character in Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
because that wouldn't make sense, because it's like he's literally in jail and there's a key, and how else would he get, like, I don't know, I don't think it would be rigged like that. So I think he is like Force user, but I don't know. I'm like trying to pick how old he would be. If we were to say he's around the same age as the Mandalorian, then yeah, he would have been like a preteen child in the Clone Wars or some.
Yeah.
Around there.
Jude Law is
It's like
51.
50. Yeah.
And so if it's in the New Republic, which if this takes place in 9 ABY, go back 9 years, that makes him 42. You know, go back 19 years, that puts him at 23.
Okay.
So he's the same. If he is that old, he's the same age as Anakin.
Wouldn't he be the same age as Lando then too? Aren't they the same age?
No,
also?
Lando's a year older.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew, but they were like closer in age than.
Yeah. So, I mean, so it's possible that he was a knight, or if he went to the Obi-Wan school of being a Padawan, then he was still a Padawan at 23.
I mean, yeah, people complain about there being too many surviving Jedi, but like they were literally plastered all over the galaxy during,
right.
Like he could have not been on Coruscant. Maybe the only way he got away was to hook up with some pirates.
Yeah.
And that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And we'll see. And also, you know, no one ever said that they got all the Jedi, because at a certain point, the number's low enough that they're no longer a threat to Palpatine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the whole thing of the Inquisitors, were to find anyone left.
Right. And then obviously the Inquisitors are gone by the time the original trilogy starts up. So, you know, at that point, they're no longer a threat.
Yep.
You know, Palpatine knew Yoda was alive, and so he was just like, Yoda's not doing anything. And obviously, it's not like the Inquisitors would actually do anything to Yoda. So,
yeah. True. Well, I guess we'll get some more answers next week.
Yep. And you can catch our reaction to that next week right here on this channel. And check out all our other stuff. Star Wars Lawyer, YapSeshPod, YapSeshPod _BDazzler _ on everything, including TikTok for the next 40 days and 40 nights. So catch us there while you still can. Bye.
Bye.